Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Symphogear. The nice rhyme for the start of the episode. Episode 5, by the way. Terribly sorry to my patrons, to my Patreon supporters. This will be a little bit late for you, and by a little bit, I mean like fairly late. I had some stuff to do, and I just couldn't record it earlier. So, super sorry for that. But to you, people on YouTube, this will be coming out on the dot. The same time as always, if I remember what the always time is, but certainly on the day that it's supposed to come out, it will come out. That much I can assure you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the last episode and about some things that I've learned from you guys, because there's apparently some supplementary material, so to speak, attached to every episode. As they were being released, there was some additional info, additional background released on the website. I believe it was something like that, or was it in the Blu-ray release? No, I think it was actually on the website. And the reason why I'm always forgetting their names. The red-haired one, Symphogear on Mal. The reason why the red one died while singing her suicide song, Kanade. Yeah, the reason why Kanade, why the suicide song killed Kanade, but didn't kill Tsubasa, is because, as we were shown, Tsubasa has natural aptitude. She has a good connection with her symphogear, and Tsubasa, Kanade, and Kanade had to force the connection, right? Through the whole procedure, and supposedly there was some detail in the manga that she was taking some drug that made her more compatible, and she didn't take it during the battle or something, and that had the additional effect of, weakening her even further, so that the suicide song had even worse of an effect on her. And additionally, and that's true, there is also the fact that she was already tired and damaged during the fight, right? Her gear was beginning to crumble. So, okay, it stands to reason why she would die from singing the Supreme Song, or whatever it's called. And Tsubasa wouldn't. I'm just gonna open the list of characters to have it permanently on screen. Somewhere to the right. There we go. Just the names. I don't need anything more but the names. There we go. Now I have my little bit of a cheat sheet. Yeah, that's the reason. What else happened in the last episode? We of course have Hibiki, very the whole battle and them pretty much losing to the girl wearing the stolen full-blown armor, Symphogear armor. It had a big impact on Hibiki, and the things that she heard after the fact from Tsubasa's producer, or I think it's her like music producer, what she heard from him had even bigger of an impact, right? Now she is aware, or at least she believes, that one of the reasons behind Kanade's death was her presence there. One of the reasons behind Tsubasa getting so severely hurt was because she herself wasn't strong enough to help. She was immediately immobilized and couldn't do anything, couldn't fight, couldn't, she was essentially useless during that battle. More than useless, even, because Tsubasa had to protect her. And as a last resort, she used her suicide song. But she didn't use that suicide song only as a last resort. I still have a feeling that she also used it as sort of an atonement towards Kanade. right? I couldn't save you, so now I will give all of myself and kill myself to destroy the noise that destroyed you, and we will be together again in the heavens. You know, that kind of deal. At least I'm getting that vibe. Um, Anything else of note happened? Yeah, Hibiki found her conviction. She found her reason to fight, to protect the people she cares about. So far, she was kinda only just dragged into the whole thing. She didn't have a reason to fight besides people telling her, hey, you have a symphogear within you, so we kinda have to fight, and she was along for the ride. But now that she took part in such a significant and hard battle, and now that she witnessed the real consequences of those battles being lost, and she witnessed them firsthand because she was there, she found it within herself to consciously pursue the fight against the noise, to consciously start protecting the people she cares about. She's no longer just a passenger along for the ride being thrown between battles. Now she actually wants to be that Valkyrie. She actively wants that, she actively pursues that, and what shows us that the best is that she went to Genjiro, the leader of the whole organization, or at least this branch of the organization, to get some training. And some training she did get, mostly from action movies. But hey, any training is good. As long as the training is safe, as long as you move your muscles, it's a training. It might be more efficient, it might be less efficient, but it's a training nonetheless. That's something I learned when I was attempting to do some strength training. I still have my dumbbells and I still swing them around every now and then. It's fun to just do that, even your own way, without having to follow, a straight regime of you have to keep exactly this shape and every single lift has to take you 0.5 seconds and you need to rotate your wrist halfway through. It's fun to just do it your own way, as long, of course, as you're not doing something like deadlifts. Because if you don't have a proper form during deadlifts, you're gonna get your back fucked up. And there are other exercises where you can get majorly fucked up if you don't hold proper form. But as long as you're doing things for fun with like light weights and do some light exercise, it's mostly fine. And that's exactly what Hibiki is doing. She isn't doing proper exercise, she isn't doing proper training, but she's doing training. And as long as you burn those calories, as long as you move those muscle, it's good. Also, Miku spotted her. Miku spotted Hibiki during her training with Genjiro. I remembered his name, Genjiro. Yeah, Genjiro. I wonder if that's gonna become a significant plot point. Because so far, Hibiki was successfully hiding her involvement entirely from Miku. Now Miku is starting to suspect something. I have the feeling. We had that little bit of a heart-to-heart between Hibiki and Miku on the rooftop, and that's one of the things that pushed Hibiki towards training and becoming better and becoming worthy of wielding Gangnir. But the very last scene, without music, with the screen going black, and the little bit of a discussion about lies between Miku and Hibiki. I have a feeling that Miku is suspecting something, and I have a feeling that it will become bigger or smaller, hard to tell, but it will become a plot point. It will be a source of some major drama, and perhaps what I imagine might happen, right, is Miku follows Hibiki By following her, she gets in danger. Hibiki now has to save her and goes berserk, and they have to calm her down. And she needs to go through some training to keep control of her psycho mode. Because we know that she has a psycho mode, right? She goes all shadow on her face and red glowing eyes. I still have a feeling that it's gonna become relevant. Both her psycho mode and Miku learning about Hibiki hiding stuff from her. And I've already been talking about 10 hours. Yeah, I wish. I've already been talking for over 10 minutes. We haven't even started the episode, so let's do it right now. Let's give you guys some subs. Let's give you guys some subs. There we go. Thank you, OBS, for listening to me. Let's take a sip of fucking hell. There goes my tea. Ah. Yeah. Shit happens when you least expect it. And there go my cables. Okay, I'm gonna maybe start the episode, and during the opening I'm gonna I'm gonna clean it up. Ah, fuck. Yeah, there was a water bottle on top of this fucking string, and I pulled on the cup, and it pulled the whole thing with it. God damn it. Okay, Symphogear, episode 5, version by HVEC, subs by D-Truck, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And there's no Hibiki. Of course, she's on some secret mission. I'm skipping school training. Okay, so perhaps it's gonna become relevant much quicker than I suspected. As long as you have the heart, you don't need to understand it. Oh? There we go. Atta girl. I wonder if it's her actually getting stronger or if it's her Symphogear giving her additional power even if she's not henshined. Interesting. Okay, it's the OP, so it's time for me to clean up. Ah, fuck. Thankfully, I didn't spill all that much, and thankfully, I have a towel nearby. No, it doesn't seem like anything got into my keyboard. Okay, we're good. Not the first time I spilled something, not the last. Okay. Now, let's get in gear. Right, one more thing. That someone brought my attention to how much powerful the full Symphogear is. Once it's awakened with a song, that girl they were fighting, she didn't need to sing to attack. As reported. Uh, Okay, they're making some... They're doing some experiments. The English. Uh, Solomon's cane. I'm assuming that's the cane that can summon the noise that she was using? Or is it the property of her armor? Oh, it's windy outside. Your wish granted. Okay, what is that supposed to accomplish? And why is she naked? Okay, we're getting some non-consensual BDSM relationship. That's interesting. Or maybe it's eventually becoming consensual. Okay, so there is ancient civilization at play, and there is a secret evil organization with unknown so far goals. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if they don't have any means of fighting Symphogear, okay, so it is Japan only. So whoever told me in the comment that that thing about Symphogear being Japan only, they kind of spoiled this episode a little bit. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be a major spoiler, so it's whatever, but be mindful of spoilers, please. I mean, yeah, anything that involves government is. Yep. Nice camera angle, thank you. Yeah, I feel like luck is really with me. I'm assuming it's not. And it's a disaster flag. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I'm so useless, I couldn't even fucking die. Afterlife is confirmed to exist. Hmm. Something to do with the fragment of Gangnir being inside of Hibiki? Kanade lives through Hibiki to some degree? That kind of deal? I mean, so far you have proven to be pretty damn inflexible. Hmm. Okay, so he's reasonable. Oh no, it's an assassination attempt. It's John Rambo. I know that it's supposed to be all dramatic and stuff, but yeah, your minister get murdered. Is it even your responsibility to investigate it? How? Oh, excuse me, what? Is she not working with us? Is she a traitor? She better not be, because I like her, but she's cheating on you. Uh, and she has the right to be. You prefer the midriff. Understandable. Okay, so Hibiki is the only active Valkyrie so far. She's gonna have to fight against the inevitable attempt by someone to steal Durandal during transfer. Just gonna go tits up really easily. I mean, it's not like there's anybody to share that responsibility with, especially now that Tsubasa is incapacitated. Guys in black suits and sunglasses, and there's Hibiki. uh, all black cars, and there's just one tiny pink one in the middle. Well, that's not good. Hmm. So I'm assuming it is that evil organization that can somehow control the noise. So they can be controlled. It's confirmed that they can be controlled. I like the music in the background. Symphogear. Okay, Hibiki, you better henshin right now. Symphogear. She is a traitor. Or she's not. Which is it? She has Symphogear? Or is it some other tech? I fucking love the hurdy-gurdy. I love the hurdy-gurdy here. Yeah, that's our Hibiki, alright. Second henshin. She removes her heels to get a boost in agility. I like the fact that she's a purely melee fighter. She doesn't use any weapon, just her fists and her legs. I always love characters who have this kind of fighting style. Maybe some gauntlets or something, but swords and hammers and axes, those are boring. That's some boring shit. Give me some hand-to-hand combat. Or hand-to-tentacle combat in this case. Yep. Not to mention you are fighting against someone who has a full Symphogear. Is Durandal gonna pick Hibiki? Is Hibiki will Hibiki be able to use Durandal instead of Gungnir? Did Hibiki activate Durandal? She's going Psycho mode. Okay. Oh, I love the art in this scene. She activated Durandal. She went Psycho mode and activated Durandal. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Just blast everything to smithereens. Team Rocket is blasting off again! I don't like that smirk. Is Hibiki somehow special? Is she special in a way that she somehow has compatibility with every Symphogear? Whatever you give her, she can use it. She can awaken it. Because it seems that way. You're still sus. You're cute, but you're still sus. You're gonna do me like that, huh? Uh, so far, from what we've seen, every Valkyrie can have control over a single Symphogear. Hibiki so far has control over Gungnir, the Shard of Gungnir, and now she had. Well, I would be lying if I said that she had no trouble controlling Durandal, but she controlled Durandal. Hmm. And she went full psycho mode when doing so. Interesting. Okay, let's go through this episode again. My wrist rest for my keyboard is still wet. Oh well, whatever. Okay, let's roll. Yeah, of course, Miku wakes up and Hibiki is not there. Why would she be? This. No, you could say that it's just, some adrenaline rush. Her heart beats a little faster because she gets some exercise, and now she's able to just one punch this punching bag, like Hibiki from Danberu Nankiro Moteru. They even have the same name, do they? I need to double check. I think the one from Danberu was also named Hibiki. Danberu Nankiro Moteru. And her name is Sakura Hibiki. There we go. I remembered her name. And this is Tachibana Hibiki. And both of them have a fucking rocket-powered fist. But I wonder if it's really the result of Hibiki's training, or is Symphogear having some influence on her, even if she's not transformed? I mean, it is part of her body right now, right? The shard of Gungnir became a part of her body. So it wouldn't be weird if she got a boost even in her unhinged form. OP, OP, OP. This place. It's a BDSM dungeon with some stock trader computer setup. Blood on the floor. There's her. I have no clue who she is. She's a part of some evil organization. And her name is... Is it her? Is it here? Chris. Yeah, and Chris isn't here... I mean, she is here out of her own volition, but she seems to have been tricked by whoever this is into believing that her helping the evil organization will make her dream come true. I want to see something. Do we see her face at any point? Or is it all... Or is it all like just her lips? I think we only ever see... Yeah, we don't see her whole face. Which makes me wonder. The... what was her name? The office lady girl that works with the whole organization. The one with hair bun. What's her face? Ryoko. Yeah, Ryoko. Has me suspicious. If this is not Ryoko. Maybe she can change her hair color somehow. Or she's wearing a wig at some point. Ryoko is now suspicious. Could it be that she was late for work because of this event here? Because of her little fling in the torture dungeon? Could it be Ryoko? I'm gonna skip near the end of the episode for a moment. And the shape of her hair, right? You see that? It's going inside, right? Bent around her face and goes inside. She has lipstick only on the bottom lip. Her hair is pretty damn long. And here, right? It bends inside. Her hair is long. We can see that. And she only has lipstick on her bottom lip. Okay, I'm gonna listen to her voice. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the voice is the same. I don't think it is, actually. No, the voice isn't the same. But they look very similar. And the lips are even like hexagonal on both of them. I think they might be the same person. She just modulates her voice. Huh. Yeah, here we learn that the government doesn't really like our disaster squad because they demand a lot of freedom in their actions. And they cause a lot of issues, international issues even. And yeah, we have a confirmation that it is only Japan that has the Symphogear technology. And it's very, very hidden. Nobody knows of its existence. Yeah. The minister seems to like them, seems to be fairly reasonable, and understands the benefit of the disaster relief squad existing. Right, they are the only weapon, the only protection against the noise. So the other politicians who don't like the disaster squad seem kind of unreasonable to me. Like, they are the only people who can defeat the noise. Like, genuinely, actually, regular human weapons don't work on the noise. The noise can vaporize humans into carbon dust. Why would you not be pushing any and all your funding into Symphogear research? And yeah, now she's rushing here. The the fucking hairpin. It's some sort of a flower uh flower butterfly. The same thing she has on her choker. At least looks similar. Show me her hair. No, it's not the same. It's not the same, but it's similar. Either the same person or some sort of a family. Sister, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, she's having a little bit of an. Not an epiphany. Epiphany isn't the correct word to use here. Mm, she's dreaming about being with her girlfriend again and decides that. Learns that it is up to her to decide whether she's gonna be close to her or not. I'm assuming it's about the shards of Gungnir being inside of Hibiki's chest. Might be mistaken, but I have a feeling that a part of Kanade still lives within Hibiki somehow. Right? Symphogear magic, techno bubble, whatever you want to say, but I have a feeling that that's the case. And Kanade was basically telling Tsubasa that Hibiki is basically my descendant, so if you want to be close to me, be close to Hibiki. I wonder if that's the case. Yeah, this guy has a good idea. He has the right idea. They are the only weapon against the worst of disasters. So And of course, we're having fucking Rambo squad roll in. They look very American. They roll in and they steal the research. She arrives. Classified orders are somehow safe. But the briefcase is still bloody. And we end this part, this half of the episode. It is halfway point with the logo, and we end on this scene. Slow pan into this bloodied briefcase. What's her deal? Did she tamper with this data? Did she order the assassination of that minister to get a hold of this data? Is she the English-speaking one BDSM lay Dommy mummy from the beginning of the episode? And she was talking in English, and people who also speak English assassinated the minister. Shit, it's getting deeper than I thought it's gonna get. Suddenly there's some grand conspiracy at play. She doesn't seem to be conspiring against them. She certainly seems to have some serious secrets. Don't get me wrong, what with her, magic shield power and stuff. But right now she doesn't seem to be conspiring. Right? It's not like she's feeding them false data about the Durandal. Or like she switched Durandal for a fake one or something like that. No. They genuinely go on to transport the Durandal. And she doesn't run off with it. She doesn't hide it. She doesn't have Chris take it and run. She keeps the Durandal within the organization after seeing that Hibiki was able to awaken it. Here's the chase scene. Yeah, what's the deal with this power? Does she have some sort of a Symphogear shard within her? Is she an android? Is she a magic user? Is there like an actual genuine magic in this universe besides the ancient technology? There's also magic. She chanted a spell and cast a shield. I don't know. Is it some hidden technology? Is it her hairpin that gives her the power to create shields? She doesn't seem concerned that Hibiki sees her use the shield, so it doesn't seem to be a secret. This song. This song and this suicide song. I recently listened to what's it called? The Siren of the Woods by Therion. It's a song in Sumerian, in ancient Sumerian. And I don't know the language at all, but the songs they sing here, the ones that don't get captions, the ones that aren't in Japanese, they really give me the vibes, the same vibes that Siren of the Woods is giving me. Something about the cadence, something about the rhythm of the words. I don't know. It is certainly not Japanese, it is certainly not English, the language they're using. So I still can't help but wonder what kind of language it is. I'm very hung up on it being Sumerian because it's pretty much the only ancient language that I can recognize. No, that's a lie. I know a little bit of like Proto-Scandinavian. I learned a little bit of it back in high school. Yeah, something around that. But there are like three or so options for that language. It's either A, completely made up, and they call it Symphogearian, and it's a completely made up language for the needs of this show. I don't think they went that way. There seems to be way more focus put on like symbolics and mythology and all that stuff of the real world in this show for them to just create a completely made up language. Second possibility I see is it's not a made up language, not entirely, but it's a it's a made up language but made to sound like an ancient language, right? It's based on, I don't know, Sumerian or Babylonian or Proto-Scandinavian or, I don't know, Hebrew or something. It's not any of those languages, but they they use those languages as a reference, and it's probably some Atlantean or Lemurian or something like that, one of the long lost civilizations. Third option that I am probably most leaning towards is that it is an actual dead ancient tongue, and it's either Sumerian, as I mentioned, or it's some other language. Maybe it's Babylonian. I don't think it's Hebrew. I don't think it's Proto-Scandinavian. I don't think it's Proto-Slavic. Could be maybe Egyptian, but I don't think either. Egyptian was fairly harsh sounding, fairly like hard cats, a lot of apostrophes when you were to, if you were to transcribe it to like English alphabet. I'm still leaning most towards Sumerian, but then again, there's the matter of the voice actors singing it, and perhaps giving it a little bit of a Japanese accent. The English that was spoken at the very beginning of this episode was kinda understandable, but not entirely, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were singing in Proto-Scandinavian or even in like Suomi, but the accent simply makes it sound completely different. I don't know. I hope we'll learn about what was the civilization that created those artifacts. Who was it that created Symphogears? On that note, actually, I'm gonna change the scene so that I'm not so overblown. There we go. It just dawned on me. Now it's a long shot, right? It's a very long shot. It's like a tinfoil kind of theory, but hear me out. Ancient Sumer was pretty much the first proper civilization with cities, with codified laws, with social structure and hierarchy, with all that. Before the ancient Sumer, all you really had were small little, not even towns, but villages, not even, more like tribal groups that would settle somewhere in one place, and there would be maybe like 3 families settled in one place. Sumer brought those big, spanning, sprawling cities. Now that makes me think, if not Symphogear, if the noise are basically a natural enemy of humanity, since they seem to be kind of like like a human's antimatter. That's also something that someone brought my attention to. When a noise monster gets into contact with a human being, both the human and the noise monster crumble into carbon dust. So, antimatter essentially. A good way to protect humanity from extinction would be to live in those spread out settlements. Because even if a few of those settlements get wiped out, they are spaced out enough so that a group of noise doesn't have access to a lot of people in a single place. Relocating those settlements would also be fairly easy because you only have like 3 families. You grab what you have, you put it on your mule, and you fuck off. Big cities, big Sumerian cities, would be a prime target for the noise because there's a lot of people accumulated in one place. Therefore, could it be that either A, ancient Sumerians figured out the Symphogear technology to protect their cities, or B, ancient Sumerians figuring out the Symphogear technology was what allowed them to build the first cities? Or did they not develop the technology, but rather discovered it? What if the Symphogear technology is even older? It doesn't seem ancient. That's another point. That's another point I want to bring attention to. Yeah, they look, after being ancient, they essentially look like fucking Gundams. I know they don't look like fully like Gundams, but all those spikes and slick forms, they're very Gundam-y looking. I would have expected them if they were actually developed in some ancient civilization, not Sumer. I'm too hung up on it. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Some ancient civilization, if it developed those, you'd think they would look different. And again, a couple of theories. Either the ancient civilization was way more advanced than we give it credit for. Perhaps it was Atlantis. Perhaps it was Lemuria. Right? All those mythical civilizations that were supposedly much more advanced for their time. And they already had this kind of looking technology. With pipes and wires, we saw that they were sprouting out of Hibiki's back. Right? Proper pipes and proper wires and electricity sparking. And the Symphogear armor is lighting up like it had like LED strips in it. It's either the civilization who created the Symphogears was much more advanced, or, that's another theory, Symphogears adapt themselves to the current level of technology when they are being used. If you were to use Gungnir, if you were to transform with Gungnir's power in the Middle Ages, you'd wear like a full plate suit of armor. If you were to transform with it in, I don't know, in the Bronze Age, you'd have a leather skirt and maybe like a wooden mask or something. If you were to transform with the very same Gungnir in the year 5000 after the discovery of hard light, you would be wearing a holographic hard light armor. I think I like this theory more. Because ancient civilizations being much more advanced than we give them credit for, it kind of gets stale. Armor that was a magic armor that was created back then and looked for the time, but it adapts itself to the time, much more interesting. I like how she basically gets a second henshin by removing her heels. And that's a cool thing. Durandal is reacting to Hibiki. It seems to be, at least. It's not like Hibiki grabbed it in the last moment to, turn the tide. No, Durandal itself reacted. And it's like, let me out. My owner is here. Let me out of the case. Could it be that it's the Symphogear that picks the Valkyrie and not the Valkyrie that picks the Symphogear? Could it be why Tsubasa and Hibiki have such a great connection with them? Because they were picked by their Symphogear, and Kanade doesn't have, because she picked the Symphogear. Yeah, this doesn't look like an ancient technology. Or maybe it does, actually. Everything except the visor. Yeah, Durandal is now free, and Hibiki gets a hold of it. She goes Psycho mode. This face. That's a mad scientist yandere if I've ever seen one. I think she might be the Dommy mommy. And Chris just looks at her and doesn't, act. It seems like she's almost jealous. Don't flaunt your power. Could it be? Since she's in abusive relationship with Dommy mommy, and she sees her as Ryuko be so awestruck at the sight of Hibiki. Huh. Damn. Of course, Hibiki goes psycho mode and rips and tears, destroys everything. And Ryuko uses the shield. I don't like that look. And now she's all back to her old self. They completed the relic that was activated by your voice. I and you, what? That's a very good question, Hibiki. Does it really matter? Don't question it. We're both safe and sound. You don't need to know what's in my basement. Spoiler alert, it's a fucking wooden horse. And they really hit me with the to be continued. Shit. Well, I'm gonna upload this episode now. I'm probably gonna record Arifureta for tomorrow. And I might even watch episode 6. I don't know. I wanna know what happens. Then again, I don't think my questions will be answered that quickly, so maybe there is no reason for me to watch episode 6 right now. Oh, damn. I don't regret picking this show up. You know what I do? Actually, no. I wanted to say that I regret not watching it earlier. But if I were to watch it earlier, I wouldn't have recorded it. And it would be a waste, in my opinion, if you ask me. It would be a waste if I were to just watch it alone, binge it all in my dark room at night. It would be a waste. Sharing my theories and my, crazy conspiracies and whatnot with you guys in every video is much more fun and much more engaging. So far, I love this anime. I don't think there's anything more to be said about it. At first, I maybe not dismissed this anime, but at no point did I think it's gonna be this deep. And then after it was revealed that symphogears are an ancient technology and are the only thing that can destroy the noise and that we don't know where the noise is coming from and all that jazz. I was like, damn, so it goes even that deep. It's deeper than I expected. And then it was revealed that there are some humans who fight alongside the noise. And I was like, oh, so it's even deeper than I thought. And now there's some grand conspiracy, and politicians are getting assassinated, and one of our friendly neighborhood scientists might be a Dommy mommy in her free time, and she might betray us, or she might not. And I'm like, damn, that's even deeper than I thought. What's gonna happen in episode 6? Aliens? Ancient gods? Is Hibiki gonna reawaken fucking Odin? Is Nergal gonna come down from the heavens to bring end to the world, and it will be down to Hibiki alone to defeat the deity? It's been a long time since I've been so invested in an anime, to be perfectly honest with you. And I love every single second spent with it. And I'm super glad. That's one more thing I need to mention. I'm super glad that there's like 5 seasons of it, from what I've seen, or at least I have 5 seasons downloaded. Maybe there's more. I don't know. Because I can I can feel safe that any questions that we have will sooner or later be answered. There was a lot of uncertainty when watching Tact of Destiny for me, because it was like 12 episodes, and with every single question they asked, I was fearful, are they gonna manage to answer it within the 12 episodes? In the end, they didn't. Here, in case of Symphogear, 5 seasons, 12 episodes each, it's like what? 50. 5 times 12? 60. That's like 60 episodes. Whatever questions I have full certainty and full trust in this show that they will answer, that they're not gonna cuck me with, questions not answered. Play our gacha to learn more about the lore. I'm sure that there's not gonna be anything like that. There's probably also some OVAs, probably also some movies. You can be damn sure that I'm gonna be watching those. Because if they bring anything more to the world, if they bring anything more to the characters, I need to see them. Single episode opened up the world and the story potential so much. I'm in awe. Not only do we now have involvement of people from other countries, we now have a confirmation that there is some shady organization acting against us. We now also know that the noise can be controlled by a sapient being. We know that there's probably some artifact that can control the noise. We know that Hibiki can use Durandal. There's so much new details. I almost wish for episode 6 to be a downtime episode because of the, of the powerfulness of episode 5. Or maybe don't slow down the pace. Maybe just roll this train to the end. Damn. What a great season. What a great series. What a great episode. I really loved it. But, did you love it? Leave a comment down below. What do you thought of this episode? What do you thought of my reaction? What do you think of my speculations, of my theories? Just, if any of my theories was true, or if any of my theories was false, don't tell me about it, please. I want to speculate. I love this shit. I love speculating. I love creating theories. So don't spoil my fun by telling me what is true and what is not. I beg of you, don't spoil me this series. That's another plea I have to you. If you like this video, right? Yeah, if you like this video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But tell me why so I can improve. And join my Discord server, because there we have a Symphogear channel where you can discuss with spoilers to your heart's content. Because I don't open spoilers there. So hey, head over there. It's free to join. Link to the Discord server in the description. Join us. Talk about Symphogear. Talk about Dolls Frontline. Talk about Sabiku Ibisco. Talk about food. Post some memes. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can do there. There's like 14 people there, so I have no reason to heavily moderate it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future releases. Not only Symphogear, but tomorrow it will be Arifureta Season 2. The day after, Sabiku Ibisco. Yesterday I released Dolls Frontline, and the day before I released Tokyo 24 Coup. So those are the shows I'm reacting to in this season in my current lineup. If you want to watch Symphogear early, or if you just want to support me, you can join my Patreon. Link is down in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a Patreon-only channel on my server, and you get a nice little orange row, so your name is distinguished from everybody else. And for $10, you get early access to Symphogear. Up to 1 week early, I release it on Patreon, and then it goes in its unchanged form to YouTube. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, it's the exact same that my patrons got. They simply got it 1 week early. I think that's like the most fair way of monetizing videos, to be perfectly honest with you. Share this video with people who you believe would be interested in watching it. Spreading the word always helps. The more people watch my video, the more YouTube deems my video to be watchable by other people, so it spreads the word. You know, it's a rolling snowball. The more people watch my video, the more people watch my video, because it gets recommended to more people. Anything else I would need to shill? No, I think that's it. Comment, like, subscribe, share, Patreon, Discord. I mentioned all that. So, I've been talking for way over an hour. It's time to end it. That's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And here's a list of my Patreon supporters. And you can be there. And you will be there as soon as you subscribe, because it refreshes automatically through the magic of code.